The AMG GT breaks new ground for Mercedes. This is a sports car above all else, which has been developed to deliver uncompromising driving thrills, a car that's been designed to topple the mighty Porsche 911. Half a century after making its debut, the 911 still sets the standard in the sports car class. Years of careful evolution have helped make this Carrera 4 GTS version one of the fastest, most involving and desirable cars money can buy. Yet despite their intense rivalry, these two machines couldn't be more different under the skin. Of course, the important question is to find out which car is faster. To find out, we set up an Auto Express drag race over 1/4 mile.
Right, so here we are on the start line. This should be a really interesting race. The Mercedes has more power, but it's about 200 kilograms heavier. The Porsche, well, that's got four-wheel drive, so that'll help it off the line, and that rear engine just to boost traction, but it's got less power. We've got both cars in launch control, so let's see how we get on. And we're off! Oh, Porsche is immediately in the lead. That traction telling, but here comes the Mercedes, the extra power. Oh, and we are comfortably passing him by. Oh yes, easy victory in the end. Bye-bye 911. Oh, this is a fast car.
The 911 used its four-wheel drive traction off the line to go 3/10 quicker from 0 to 60 in a time of 3.8 seconds. However, the AMG soon turned the tables. It was 7/10 faster to 100 miles an hour with a time of 8.1 seconds and 2.3 seconds faster to 120 miles an hour with an explosive time of 11.5 seconds. Okay, so the Mercedes has the measure of the Porsche on a drag strip, but which raises the biggest smile on a track?
Mercedes have tried to make the AMG GT a real sports car, and to that end you've got a number of settings you can go through to sharpen the driving experience. So for starters, I've got a two-way exhaust, I've got three-way dampers, a two-stage traction control system, and also I can choose between individual comfort, sport, sport plus and race modes. Now in the sportiest settings, the car has adaptive engine mounts and also mounts for the gearbox which tighten up to reduce movement and just give the car even more sharpness through the corners. The steering is super sensitive, so you only need the slightest of touches to turn it in, and then it grips really hard. But the most impressive thing is the car's traction out of corners. I can get on the throttle really early without fear of it breaking away. It doesn't always feel quite as planted as the Porsche, even with the Porsche's rear engine layout. But of course the highlight of any AMG car is of course the engine, and this new 4-litre twin-turbo engine is a masterpiece. Now in S guys it puts out 501 horsepower and it's got 700 newton meters of torque, and it's just, well, it's ballistic. Oh, that's quite fast. My word, it's fun. Oh, there we go, that's the one. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
So the Mercedes is fast and fun, but is the Porsche any better?
Instantly, it feels planted. There's so much grip and traction. The steering isn't quite as direct and quick as the Mercedes, but it just helps the car feel slightly friendlier, less nervous as a result. So like the Mercedes, I've got a number of driver settings I can choose from. I've got two damper settings, Sport and Sport Plus, which sharpens the throttle. I've also got an active exhaust. Sport Plus firms everything up, and like the Mercedes, there are hydraulic engine mounts that stiffen just to tie everything down. There's less movement and it just makes the car feel more precise through the corners. And of course there's that engine, the flat six. It doesn't have the punch of the Mercedes twin turbocharged unit of course, but it thrives on revs, and with this sports exhaust it just sounds amazing. And the Porsche's PDK double clutch gearbox just reacts so quickly. There's not much in it between that and the Mercedes, in fairness. Oh, the brakes as well, they're just so strong, carbon ceramics. Oh, and this might have four-wheel drive, but the traditional 911 balance is still there. It's just there to help you out when you need it.
If we're honest, these cars are going to spend more time on the road than pounding around a circuit, so which one makes the most sense every day?
instantly on the road, the Porsche just feels a very different kettle of fish to the Mercedes. You kind of got this big expanse of windscreen, large side windows, you get much better visibility, and we're running with the dampers in their softest setting, and it feels more comfortable than the Mercedes. The Porsche really just flows down the road, just takes everything in its stride. It's harder work to extract the performance than the Mercedes, but it's worth the effort, and the Porsche just keeps rewarding.
The Porsche is a brilliant road car, but how does the Mercedes compare?
Okay, so this is a Mercedes-AMG GT Grand Tourer. So it has to be as good on the road as it is on the track. And initial impressions are very good. You know, it's quiet, and on the motorway, you know, there's less noise, particularly from the road, than you get in the Porsche. So it's, you know, it's very relaxed over long distances. And that even balanced weight distribution means the car always feels really, really planted and poised. Over bumpy surfaces, that stiff ride can be a bit of a problem because the car just sometimes hops and bounces and skips, and if it finds a camber in the road, the front wheels, particularly when you're braking heavily, start to squirm around. It doesn't sort of breathe with the surface like the 911 does, but it's mighty impressive, and you can cover ground at a ridiculous amount of speed.
Despite its sledgehammer pace and sharp handling, the AMG is surprisingly practical. Not only is the cabin beautifully crafted, it features a versatile hatchback tailgate and can accommodate up to 350 litres of luggage. The 911 doesn't feel quite as special inside, plus its boot will only swallow 125 litres. But its interior is more spacious and it offers better visibility than the Mercedes. So, what car wins? When it comes to drama and performance, the bombastic AMG takes some beating. Few cars are as fast or attract as much attention. The 911 doesn't give up its charms quite so easily. Yet spend time with it and you'll find it's more involving to drive, just as fast in the real world and easier to live with. It's also cheaper to buy. So, by the very, very smallest of margins, the Porsche wins. To watch a track battle between the Porsche 911 GT3 and the Aston Martin V12 Vantage S, click the video on the left. To watch a review of the Mercedes C63 Black Series, click the video on the right. Click on the play icon to watch our latest video, and click on our logo to subscribe.